Okay, let's see what we can do with this one. Let's see what we've got. Gonna leave it on that. Okay, let's see what it is. It is CEO magazine. So CEO magazine. Yeah, CEO magazine. And her name is Louise Adam of Oricon. I don't know what Oricon is. I heard the name somewhere, but I'm really skeptical about CEOs because most of them are just money fuckers. And this could be called a Money Fuckers magazine. It's for money fuckers. And they are. They don't care about the planet. They don't care about the human race. They like to make things in China so that they can pay less and not have to pay a full wage to the workers because it's cheaper. It's fucking stupid. And I have no respect for the CEOs of the world. Most of them are shithouse. I've got a dream, folks, that I want to become a CEO. But I'm not interested in money fucking or profiteering or the freedom of the marketplace over nature and humanity. Because that's basically what these fucktards are good at. Making freedom of the market as opposed to freedom of the human race and freedom of human rights. I know it sounds a bit socialist, but capitalism isn't working, folks. And I want to design the best photocopiers there are on Earth. I want to make a really good job of it. I'm passionate about photocopiers and their future design, and I want to make a difference. I want to make sure that we use mostly recycled materials as opposed to freshly mined materials, virgin as it's called. We're trying to avoid using virgin materials wherever possible. And the workers are going to be paid slightly above what they're worth. Not what they're worth as slaves, what they're worth in the real term with people that care. People like an Aussie wage, a typical factory worker would have been paid. Well, we would have to factor in. It's been a long time since we had much industry. Most of it's gone offshore to China. How predictable. Because these rich people who control the industries, they don't care. They just want to make a quick dollar. And they want to make as much money. They don't care about the planet. They don't care about the workers or even the people that the product is supposed to serve. The people who buy the product, you and I. So we've got to make a difference. We've got to cut slave labour. We've got to stop ripping too much minerals and materials out of the ground. We've got to mine the rubbish tips of the world, folks. We're going to mine the rubbish tips of the world in places like China and India, where heaps of e-waste gets disposed of, dumped. We've got to clean up the environment. So we're going to use the recycling process as a way of cleaning up places like India and China and making it a nice place for the people of these countries to live. We've got to make the world a happy place, a clean place. I also not just want to be a CEO, I want to be a scientist, and I want to find solution to real world problems like climate change and how to neutralize nuclear waste. How should we put it? Decontaminate. That's the word. Decontaminate nuclear waste. But we also have to think of human waste. We've got to make sure that every country and every place in the world, as much as we can, has proper sanitation, like toilets and clean drinking water. But we've got to also make sure that it's not just building these things that we have to do. We have to maintain them. So if the toilets or the taps and the plumbing break, these people can have someone to come and fix it, so that it'll still provide the service that they have. Because I get the feeling that a lot of times people are willing to buy these things and have them installed, but I get the feeling that there's no sense of keeping it functional. They just think they've done a good deed and that's it. And then people end up again having to shit outside or shit in a hole instead of shitting in a flushable toilet. And that's another thing. We've got to make the toilets, we've got to flush. So when we flush a toilet, I want the toilets to flush with grey water instead of flushing it with fresh drinking water, which we do in Sydney, for example. We've got to fucking think. We've got to think outside the box, and we've got to fucking make a difference. You know, we have to do what is necessary to secure the future for the whole of the human race, instead of having people dying of poverty and sickness. And if we could fix climate change, people in third world countries could indeed go back to growing their own crops. Imagine that, going back to the good old days before things were totally money fucked. So we've got to think, we've got to think of the future of everyone, not just the rich. Now I'm wondering if we're going to get rid of this. Because I really would be delighted to be of service to the world. And most of the money that I earn will be given to scientific and humanitarian causes. My goal is to give away 95% and keep only 5% for myself and Luigi. I'm not interested in hoarding money like these CEOs typically would. I don't want that. To me, it's like a hole in the heart. I want my money to be put to work, to do something fucking useful for the world. We need to think as a worldwide community instead of just cliques and individuals doing nothing useful, driving around in luxury cars and having yachts and huge mansions that have too many bedrooms and just one person living in there. It's really dumb. It's really self-indulgent shit. And we don't need that anymore. We've got to stop it. We've got to put an end to it. It's got to be. It would even be good to make it illegal to hoard money and not to give it away. But you can't really penalise. I mean, there'd be so many people put in prison or fined. Imagine how many people are going to be in prison if they get in trouble for accumulating money like they do now. But these people are they've got the power, but they don't have any heart. They're fucking idiots. They're fucktards. I've got no respect for this shit. I don't. We don't need this money fuckery in our lives. Fucktards, we don't need them. Listen to that unsustainable noise. We can hear the blower vacs blowing leaves away. and the leaves come back. What a fucking waste of resources. Fucking idiots. Whoever thought about that idea deserves to be shot. Although violence isn't the answer, we've got to think of a more peaceful way of dealing with this shit. Just get angry, folks. I get frustrated. I say things like that. Anyway, that looks really nice. I think now you can call this demo quits.